we are, I brought this on Amazon. It's this pocket prayers for teachers. I, this is what it looks like, and I decided to buy one. I just was trying to find some sort of devotional to do because I wanted some sort of guidance for helping me with doing devotional time in the morning, because that's the time I knew would be best for me on the days that I'm working to actually focus on devotional time. Because when I come home from work, I'm done. I don't want to do anything. Sometimes it's hard enough to get me to cook my food. So this, I brought this. This is the one that I decided to stick with this time. And so I'm on day 4. I was bad and I skipped yesterday. But we do that sometimes. We just kind of forget. I also just was not feeling well yesterday. That's part of why I needed to just let myself rest. I went to the farmer's market, and I will show you guys what I got there. But I mainly just got tomatoes. So I'm gonna read this devotional. And I also brought my journal out. You can see it's pretty thick. But I try to use up journals that I'm using before I start new ones. And then I also have the new Bible commentary, which has been super helpful. And I will link them below. I don't remember how much this was, but this was super helpful. This is just I love it because it helps explain different parts of verses, and or if there's a certain passage that I really want to learn more about after I go to church or whatever. And now if I just also want to say I have nothing against other churches or anything like that. I'm not, so please don't say any mean comments or anything, because I am all for whatever you believe in. That's your choice. I just have been someone who believes, in what I believe in for a long time. And so just no hate comment. Anyway, moving on. So, this is very big. I will post it for those who are interested. I actually have already thought about giving this to a friend when I finish it. I wanted to do this. There's another book I have that I got for free that I want to start, but I don't want to start it till January, which is why I want to find something that I can do during that time. And this had a lot of good reviews, and I really like that it focuses on teachers, because as someone who is just going into going back to school, it's nice to kind of help me start off on a good mindset, because I know that this is my 3rd year at my workplace, but the first couple of years were really hard, and this is my first year really having a lot more where I'm getting to teach the kids a lot of things. I'm getting to be more of a senior role, and so I want to make sure that I am always in the right mindset and seeing the kids the way that I should be seeing them, because some of the kids there's always those kids who just want to push you a button, right? So that is where, I don't know. I mean, that's just how it is for me. And for the tea, I'm drinking the jasmine green tea, pearls. That's kind of my go-to when I'm not drinking coffee. But I just couldn't imagine not drinking something. And I also, my throat was kind of bothering me this morning. So I was we're still going to drink some sort of drink. On my second cup of tea, I wanted to bring out something I like to put in my tea, and then if I'm drinking coffee, I'll usually throw it in like smoothies or just like my water. But this is, I probably will say it wrong, but it's like that colloidal silver, and I like to get it from the farmer's market. I usually buy like 2 of them at a time, so I'd never have to buy it like every week. And plus, like, honestly, I have not been able to go every week anyways this month, or just like this summer. So my hope is that'll eventually change, because the farmers market is one of my like happy places. That is like definitely one of the places that I am like thrilled to spend my money at. But I love getting the fresh vegetables. When I get crazy ideas like making tomato soup, or just simply like buying things, like I used to buy a lot of fresh coffee from there, but the prices have gone up on their coffee, and so I've been kind of like, I'm gonna save money and just buy it from the store and ground it myself. I normally am usually pretty good about, I love supporting small businesses, which is why I hate doing it, but I'm also like, I gotta think about what's good. Like, I gotta be careful about my money, especially because my paychecks don't start really going up until the end of September, when I've been working like that full month again. So I can't, like, I gotta be picky. I really gotta make sure I'm budgeting. And my friend gave me this, I don't know if you guys have heard of Liv B's vegan cookbooks, but she gave me like a budget friendly cookbook that Liv B has made, and I like literally saved so much money at the grocery store just for like making a recipe out of her book. And it was honestly so good. I ate it for like 4 nights, and then I started like not feeling well, and it was just like, then that was when it kind of started to sound like a terrible idea to eat it. But otherwise, honestly, that has been great. Part of why I like this stuff is because it is basically, when I work with kids and when I am like in the mode of like always working with kids, and my boyfriend knows this about me and he hates it about me, like, because he's just like, I hope you're not going to be like this if we ever get married. And like, I just am very germophobic. Like, I get so, but I mean, it's like I can't help it. Like, I just don't want to get sick. And so it's like, this stuff is actually really good for you, and it's supposed to really help with your immune system. And so, like, I mean, even on the job it says, like, you can, for external use, you can use it for, like, touch burns, cuts, and wounds, but you would use a cotton ball to put it on. And then for internal use, you can use 4 to 5 drops, 1 to 2 times daily, hold for 30 seconds under tongue, or add to a beverage, which it does not taste good, so I recommend adding it to the beverage. And it does say do not exceed recommended doses, but immune support, antiviral, antibacterial, antiviral. So, and then it's like literally the only ingredient is the colloidal silver. I love this stuff. I just like, I am the one who is very much like, I will do everything possible to make sure I can try to get rid of the germ, try not to get sick, and that's just me. I also just like knowing that I'm like taking care of my body. So I'm gonna have you in a little bit. So bye. I am back. So I have some peanut butter toast, and like I said, I got some figs at the farmer's market, and I always love to have some fresh fruit on hand, and I saw the figs and was like, that sounds like a nice change and just so refreshing. And I'm gonna be honest, I had never had raw figs before, but they had some for you to like try, and I like that it's not like, I normally love overly sweet. Like, I love berries, I love bananas, I love the sweet things, but I also like that these are kind of like, they're satisfying, but they're not like super sweet. So that is what we're having. I decided, like, I wasn't going to have them because I was thinking maybe I'd try making a jam or something, but I decided to just eat some of these with my breakfast so that I'm not just eating toast. And I'm also finishing off my tea. Right now, the peanut butter I have is from Wegmans. When I went to visit my family a couple weeks ago, I went and got my groceries from Wegmans before coming back to town, and I decided, and peanut butter was one of the things on my list that I wanted to get, and so we're trying Wegmans peanut butter. It's good, but strangely I still like the peanut butter that's like the top of my list best, and so it's very good though. One thing about figs is, like, you do not have to take the skin off. You can just eat them. They have a very, like, I do not know how to describe the flavor of them raw. To me, they kind of have, like, a little bit of, like, the melon flavor, but, like, it's not so melony to the point where, like, I use that term melony, and I know it sounds like probably like so strange, but like to me, so like I don't like just plain melons, and I don't like cantaloupe, so that's part of why I'm using that term, and so I like that. It's like that perfect like in between, because I love watermelon, like the just fresh watermelon. I love it. There was watermelon at the farmer's market, and I did not get any, but honestly, I don't know where I would have put it. I just don't have enough room in my refrigerator, and the watermelon was also, like, so fresh to the point where I was like, I don't know what I would do with it. But it was also, like, the aspect of that particular, like, vendor was so crowded, and it was, like, I just didn't have the energy for the crowdedness of it. Like, do y'all ever feel that way where you're just like, I just want to, like, go in and get out? Like, because I did go with the intention of getting the tomatoes, with the intention of getting, I think, like, one other thing. Oh yeah, the bread. I found one of the vendors that I'm friends with. She normally posts pictures online, and I love when she posts them because I can kind of see whether, like, there's anybody I specifically want to buy from. And so I saw that she had posted the girl who I really like buying bread from, because she has vegan bread, and like, but like literally she has the cinnamon swirl, she has whole wheat, she had Italian this time, which I was like, that's perfect because I want to make tomato soup, and like Italian and tomato soup, that's like the perfect combo. As you can tell, I'm getting excited. And then she also had the white bread, and like, so it's like I normally will buy like one of each because like I just also really love supporting her. She has so many kids, and like, so it's like I know I'm also doing good, and I just also love her bread. So, and she's not there every week either, so that's part of why when I see that she's there, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get there. But she was so nice, and she was like, if you like my bread that much, you just send me a message and I'll make whatever you want. Which I love when they do that. Like when they're like, yeah, no, I'll make you whatever you want. Like just text me. Like those are the best kind of vendors. One person had blueberries too, and I thought about getting blueberries just because I really like to get fruit at the grocery store, but everything's so expensive at the grocery store. It's so disappointing, which is why I was excited to get the tomatoes at the farmer's market, and plus I just so happen to still have some cash on me, and some of these vendors only accept cash, which stinks, but you know, the nice thing is a lot of the vendors who do take like card, they'll like, you know, help you out, and then they'll just pay the person the cash so that then like you're able to still get what you want, which I love. I just was not like prepared, and so that was part of my problem. I need to, like, I know I'm not going to be able to go to the market this coming Saturday, but next time I need to, like, once I get back, I mean, once I'm, like, I need to make sure to have cash for the next go around. Because I'd like to start buying more of my vegetables and stuff there. But yeah, I'm not sure how much longer my garden's gonna last. I can tell some of them are starting to definitely like dwindle down. I feel like the herbs are what's gonna last like the longest before it's kind of like, okay, like we're done. I would like to do extra tomatoes next year. Maybe not do as many herbs because it just seemed like I did too many. So maybe pick a couple that I know I use a lot, and then like try to have more vegetables instead. Because I really like the pepper plant, so I'd like to do that one again if we're able to find it. But that one was one we just found. I found in Lowe's, and it was like, this is so cool. But then I was never able to find one to give to my sister. So the banana pepper plant didn't end up doing so well, so I don't know I would do that one again. Unless I just want to try again. But one person that I was watching, she said she was suggesting to do green beans. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd want to do green beans or not. Her green bean plant was like, it was insane. So many green beans. I don't know if I could like eat that many green beans. Like, even she was saying we're gonna have to freeze some of these for the winter. I'm like, yeah, like I don't know that I could eat that many green beans and come up with that many ideas for green bean recipes. And I don't like green bean casseroles. I don't know. It would definitely be that would be something to experiment with. Whereas like I tried to pick out things I knew I would eat. I like green beans. It's just they're kind of more one of those ones where you're like, oh, like let's just do something a little different. Same thing with like broccoli, where it's like I do it more so because I don't like to eat broccoli, but I do it because I know I should eat it. I feel like my Meemaw used to like, she was very much like, she liked prunes. She liked, which I am not that person. I have not tried prunes. I don't know what the assignment is about proves, besides the fact that they are supposed to be incredibly good for you. But my Meemaw also liked figs. I like dates. I'm like, man, maybe I'm turning into her. Because, like, I like all the very unusual things. But then the more common things, I'm just like, nah. Like cantaloupe. Alright. I will see you guys. Trying to decide. I will see you guys soon. We will either do the farmer's market haul after I am ready for church, or either we will do it after I get back. I'm kind of thinking after I get back. It just depends on the time, because it's already 8:30. And I need to make sure that I'm ready for the ready before 9:40. So it does not take me that long, but I also would like to try to wash up some dishes. So the more like mundane things that aren't exactly always fun. But I've been trying really hard to keep up with washing dishes so that they don't pile up, and because I really just was very bad about that when I was in grad school, and so I'm trying to do better. It actually tastes very good to drink tea today. It's refreshing, but it's just during the week when I'm working so much. I knew that like first week I was definitely gonna need it, but it's like I think at least until we can get like at least a couple more people, I am probably gonna need just that extra caffeine, and then we can just have tea on the weekend. So I will see you guys in a little bit, and hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Bye. I wanted to show you around my garden. It's not looking too good right now, but my tomato plant is humongous. Lots of leaves, and the tomatoes have definitely been one of the very good plants this year. But of course, here it's starting to get into the fall, which is I'm super thrilled about because I am done with summer weather. And so we, have quite a lot of, I did cherry tomatoes this year. I love cherry tomatoes, but I think I would like to do more tomatoes next year. At least one more tomato plant, because I ended up using them in a lot of like summer recipes. But even they're just great to throw in like tomato soup as well. And then over here is a different pepper plant, and it has all sorts of different peppers, but here you can see some growing. They're not ready until they're red, but they're so good. I even sent home to my sister because sometimes they like start to overflow, and she liked them too. And I also have a banana pepper plant, and this one like has been kind of iffy. It like grows a couple here and there, but for the most part it has not been doing the best. I'm not really sure what's up with that. It almost seems like it's starting to try to grow flowers now. I can't tell. And then there's one of the tomatoes that is looking like it's almost ready. I did a lot of herbs this year, and so they really did well. They like almost to the point where I have not been able to use it all. But thankfully herbs will last a pretty decent amount of time. So I can dry herbs, which I am thinking I might have to do that and try to figure out how to do that. And then here's this herb as well. This one you can see is like literally overflowing. This one definitely is another one of those ones that did really well. And then I got a flower over here. This did not do well. I I have moved it. It was on my table. I have moved it over here to see if that would help. I can't figure out what's wrong. I have tried not watering it as much. I have tried watering it more. I don't know. I personally think next year I won't do flowers. I will focus more on vegetables anyways, because I find that I like using a lot of vegetables. But that is my thing. The last thing I have is my fig tree, which it is not at the point of making figs yet, but that is actually pretty normal for figs. It's still very much looking like a baby, but I got this about like a year or two ago, and it's still very much in the process of just growing leaves and growing up into an actual tree. But I am excited for when it does have fig, because I would love to like play around with making fig jam and just eating raw figs. I actually brought some raw figs at the market yesterday, so I will have to show you guys those in a little bit. Hey guys, so I finished washing dishes a lot faster than I expected, so we are going to go over what I got at the farmer's market. So first we got some figs. As you saw, I already ate some of them, and they are so good. I honestly will probably get more next time I go to the farmer's market. I don't know. I love fruit. I don't have too many fruits that I dislike, so, and it was just a nice change. So I picked the box that had the most in them, and they were only $5 for a box of them. So, I mean, like, what I love about the farmer's market is that it's a decent price, and, like, most of the vendors are pretty, like, decent about prices, and so I love that. I used to buy coffee at the farmer's market, but the price keeps going up on the coffee, and I can't do that. I want to support small businesses, but I'm also like, I can get coffee a lot cheaper at the grocery store, and I don't drink coffee like very often anymore. The only reason why I've started drinking it again is because I'm trying to get back into routine of working so much. And so, whereas normally I prefer to drink tea in the morning. So, that's the figs. And you even got to see them cut up this morning. I got a lot of tomatoes. I've already used some of them because I had tomato soup last night, and you'll get to see me make it again. I got some big tomatoes, but this particular vendor had these cherry red tomatoes that were like such a darker red color than you normally see them, that I just had to get a bunch of those. I could not resist. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do like a mixture of cherry tomatoes and big tomatoes. And so I brought enough that I can make it again, which I like, because the tomato soup I'd really like to play around with some more, because this was a new recipe I tried, and I just really want to play around with the seasoning a little bit, because it just did not taste right to me. It tasted a little too sour. Like, it was good, but you're like, I think I would like to kind of add a little bit more flavor into it to make it like calmer on the sour, and like give it a little bit more like saltiness, or either like sugariness. So I also have this whole other container of tomatoes. So that is that. I also got a shampoo bar. I am almost out of my shampoo. I love shampoo bars, and so I decided to just go ahead and get a shampoo bar at the same place that my bad. I got the shampoo bar at from the same vendor that I get my Colloidal Silver. I did not get that this time. I normally, because I buy enough that like it lasts me quite a while. But I got a shampoo bar because I'm almost out of my shampoo, and the place I normally buy it from is located in Georgia, so it's like with shipping and all that. I just was like, I decided to I saw she had shampoo bars, so I was like, I'm gonna look at hers and see what she's got, and maybe I'll just try a new one. And this one is called Mountain Winds, and it smells so good. She had one other one, but this one was the one that just smelled best to me. The other one kind of had a little bit more of that, like, some people love the way, like, cleanness smells, and I'm just not like that. Like, I would rather have a nice mixture. So this one just smelled better to me. So, and it's nice and big, so now I don't even have to worry about it. I personally don't use a lot of my conditioner bars, so that lasts me forever, whereas my shampoo bar, I tend to go through a little bit faster. Like, I still lasts me a long time, but it just doesn't, like, I just tend to need to replace that more often, every, like, 6 months or so. And then the other things I got were these cookies. So these are, so if you are a person who is keto, these are also keto and gluten-free, and but I get them because they're vegan. I don't care about them being keto, but the cookies are so good. Like, you don't even notice that they're healthy. She actually had some new ones. She had lemon cookies, which those were not there last time I got them. And so I'm going to try those. Because I really love lemon flavored stuff. I even have a lemon dessert tea that I love to drink at night. And I got 2 of these mint blossom cookies because these are my favorite. I love these. So I think I get that from my dad. He loves mint chocolate chip ice cream. I love mint and chocolate together too. So, but, then lastly is the bread. This is the Italian bread. And so it cost me $17 for all of the breads, but I got 4 different breads. The Italian bread already has some cut off because I ate some of it last night with my tomato soup. And then we also have the whole wheat bread. I have all the other breads in the freezer because I probably won't use them for another week or so. But that's what I do, is I buy like 4 of her bread. Like, I buy like all of them and then just like pick which one I'm going to use and then put the others in the freezer. And then the cinnamon swirl is probably my favorite, even after trying the Italian one. But I mainly got that one because I was like, tomato soup, man, like, Italian and tomato soup, like, that sounds like so satisfying. The cinnamon swirl is my favorite, though, because I can never find, like, one of those, like, cinnamon swirl breads that is so classic in the store that is actually vegan. And so this is like, just, I love it. It's so satisfying and just fills me with like joy. And the only thing I can ever find that is like the cinnamon raisin or whatever is the bagels. You know, like Thomas Bagels are just like accidentally vegan, and I love those. But you know, after a while you really want to try some other breakfast ideas besides bagels. And lastly, I feel like they don't look as great when you're like free, so they don't get the credit they deserve. But this is also the white bread. The white bread is probably the one I don't care for like as much, but it's still so good. The cinnamon swirl is my favorite. I really do love that one. And I always try to pick the one that has like the most like swirl on it, because as you can see, like this one has like so much swirl on it. I like, that is the one that I'm like, I really gotta like look and pick the right one. The Italian was my first time trying it. I like it. I do feel like I would love to try to add a little bit of butter or like make some sort of olive oil mix with it. I didn't, with the tomato soup, I've been actually using it to dip it in the tomato soup like I would a grilled cheese. So that is like kind of where the combo is there. But that is everything that I got. So as you can see, I mostly just got food. Didn't really get a lot of other things. But that is like, honestly, I love to get mostly food at the farmer's market. If for any reason I don't get food at the farmer's market, it's probably because that one thing caught my eye. Like, I wouldn't have even gotten the shampoo bar if I didn't know that, like, I had been struggling. Like, I have been literally looking at the website where I get my shampoo bar from for a while now, and I just couldn't. I finally had to just be honest with myself that, like, let's just try something else, see how it works. If my hair doesn't like it, that's okay. Especially because this one cost me like $10, I think. And not $10 or $12. But I mean, you see it's pretty gigantic. So, I mean, that saves me a lot of money considering I'm not paying for shipping. And I don't have to also include, like, because when I do buy from that store that's out of state, it's like I usually try to wait until I am out of a lot of things and make like a big order. So that is everything from the farmer's market. And I will see you guys in a little while. Bye!